What's going on, everybody, and welcome to Friday, February 26, 2021. We're here for another episode of the Casual Fan Podcast. This is the hardest working, most accurate, most entertaining NHL sports gambling podcast on YouTube. My name is Pat Struthers, your host and commentator, and today we're going to close out the month of February with an electric NHL weekend. There is a massive matchup between the North Division leading Toronto Maple Leafs and the red-hot Edmonton Oilers, who have won their last 5 straight. It's a statement game for both teams. Whoever comes out on top will lead the division. In this video, we're going to get to all the results from the past couple of days. We had a pretty mediocre week, but we're going to bounce back. We're going to talk about the most electric moments, the most devastating moments, what we learned over the past couple of days, and we're going to take all that information and we're going to make predictions for this weekend, every single game, starting with 3 tonight. Before we get started, please make sure to like and subscribe. I really appreciate your support. Thank you, guys. I appreciate every single one of you subscribers. You're the best. Also, comment. Let me know what you like, what you hate, all these bets. Let me know what you're thinking. I want to know when you win money, even when you lose money. We're all in this together. Also, there's a giveaway going on March 1st, Instagram Live at Fan the Casual. If you and a friend are subscribed to this YouTube channel, we will give away $50 in a raffle on Instagram Live on March 1st. So make sure you're subscribed. Cheers. All right, so let's get into the results. On Wednesday, I went a mediocre 4-3. And on Thursday, it really was a stay away night. There were a lot of games where I liked the underdogs, but not enough to take them. I ended up going 3-6, but I did tell you certain things would happen. I forced myself to make picks every single day on each game, and it just didn't go my way that day. So I'm gonna count it, I'm gonna keep it honest, but it wasn't a great couple of days. However, my Kings underdog bet did hit once again. The Kings are on fire. I said that the Sens had potential to upset the Flames. I said the Caps would probably beat the Pens, as well as the Pens have been playing. There were a ton of stay away games. Anyways, I didn't come out on top. But that's a good thing, because that means we're probably gonna bounce back. Based on the law of averages, we're gonna have a pretty good weekend. So let's talk about some of the most electric moments from the past couple of days. The very first thing I want to talk about, the Arizona Coyotes went down 3-0 to the Anaheim Ducks, stormed back to win it in overtime. Next game went down 3-0 to the Anaheim Ducks, stormed back to win it 4-3. This Coyotes team is pesky. They never go away. They fight for every inch, and I really like them. That said, they're coming up against the Minnesota Wild tonight. I think that's going to be a Wild win. Next electric moment. After getting blown out by the Senators, David Rittich goes off the ice, goes down the tunnel, and headbutts the wall in frustration. You really love to see that as a bettor, that the players are as emotionally invested in the game as you are. I like to think that he's being as hard on himself for losing that game as I am being on myself for believing in him. Next electric moment. Jean-Gabriel Pageau for the New York Islanders scores a breakaway goal, but on the way there, Leo Komarov gives him a little boost with his stick, pushes him forward by the butt, and gives him a little extra step on Brad Marchand so Pageau could go in and snipe. It's nice to see that kind of thing work out. I've seen that happen on a back check. I've never seen someone assist a goal by pushing their own player forward. Next electric moment. Kirill Kaprizov for the Minnesota Wild. He had a 4-on-4 shift where he circled around the zone maybe 10 times. He had possession of the puck the entire time and created a scoring chance at the end. This guy's the real deal. Wears 97 just like McDavid, and you notice him on the ice. Next electric moment. Sens dominance. This is a what have you done for me lately league, and lately the Sens have been playing good. They're not the worst team in the division right now. Definitely not. And the last electric moment, the Oilers have been keeping the streak alive. They go 5-0. They beat the Canucks in the last 2 games. They're hot as can be right now. If they're getting secondary scoring behind McDavid and Draisaitl, and their goaltending holds up a little bit, they could be a very dangerous team. So let's talk about some of the most devastating moments. It definitely was not sunshine and roses over the past couple of days. Number one, I thought the Flames would be able to steal a game from the banged up Maple Leafs. It turns out they decided to enter a skid just as I decided they would bounce back. So they lost to the Leafs and then got blown out by the Senators, and that was tough to watch. They are now in the midst of a 5-game series against the Senators, so they'll get to know each other very well. The other devastating thing was that there were a ton of underdogs that I liked, but not enough to take them, like the Sabres in that first game against the Devils, the Islanders against the Bruins, the Capitals against the Pens in the second game. I liked them, but not enough to take them, and it would have paid off for me if I had taken a little bit of a risk. Opportunity lost. So what did we learn over the past couple of days? What can we use for predictions for this weekend to make sure we win money and close out this February on top? Number one, Detroit is 0 for 40 on the power play. If they go 19 more power plays without scoring, that'll be an NHL record. Another thing we learned, stop getting cute with bets. I'm trying to find all these value underdogs. I'm taking the Canucks against the Oilers. Stop getting cute with the bets. Take the teams you know are gonna win. And that's how I'm gonna play from now on. Value's all well and good until the bets don't hit. Next thing we learned, the Habs, the Flames, reeling. The Sens, the Kings, Feeling it. Okay, so let's take all of that and move forward. The past is the past, the future is now. There are 3 games tonight. The very first one I'm gonna talk about. The Bruins are minus 165 favorites against the New York Rangers as plus 145 underdogs. Bruins are 6-0 in the last 6 meetings, 4-0 in the last 4 in New York. The favorite is 19-7 in the last 26, and the under is 4-0 in the last 4 meetings. The Bruins just lost to the Islanders bad. I think they're gonna come out and beat the Rangers in this one. Next game, you have the Los Angeles Kings as plus 145 underdogs against the Minnesota Wild as minus 165 favorites. Now, I rode the Kings against the Blues for both games and it paid out. I doubled my money twice. This Kings team has been hot. They're on a 6-0 win streak, but this Minnesota Wild team is very good. I think they might be one of the best teams in that division. The trends kind of go either way. The Kings are 12-2 in their last 14 following a win, but they're 2-10 in the last 12 meetings in Minnesota. The favorite is also 12-5 in the last 17 meetings, and the home team is 13-5 in the last 18. If I had to choose, I think the Minnesota Wild, after just beating the Colorado Avalanche, will put a stop to this Los Angeles Kings run, who have been feeding on the struggling Blues, the Ducks, the other weak teams in this division. Next game, the Colorado Avalanche as minus 170 favorites against the Arizona Coyotes plus 150 underdogs. The home team's 8-1 in the last 9 meetings between these teams. The favorite is 7-1 in the last 8. The Yotes are 4-1 in the last 5 games as a dog. Avalanche are 4-1 in the last 5 meetings, and the over is 5-1 in the last 6 in Arizona. As I said in the last video, the only team that I'll really consider taking against the Avalanche is the Golden Knights. If you bet on the Avalanche, you'll come out on top more times than not. This is actually a much closer match than the odds would appear based on what Vegas has given the Coyotes. Flyers are 5-1 in the last 6 meetings. They're 13-5 against a team with a losing record. Flyers are 12-5 in their last 17 road games. The over is 4-0 in the last 4 in Buffalo. It's 38-18 in the last meetings between these teams. Eichel was scratched in the last game after the Sabres have actually been playing pretty well. If he's injured, that hurts them, and I'm definitely going to take the Flyers. If he's in, it's going to be a much closer game. Up next, you have the Washington Capitals at the New Jersey Devils. The favorite is 43-17 in the last 60 meetings between these teams, but the home team is 9-3 in the last 12. The Caps are 9-3 in the last 12 in New Jersey. They're also 20-6 in the last 26 meetings. The Caps came back from COVID and kind of stunk. I actually sort of like the Devils' value in this one. It's going to be a stay-away game for me probably, or I would lean towards the Devils. In the last 1 p.m. slot game on Saturday, you have the rematch between the Calgary Flames and the Ottawa Senators. The favorite is 15-7 in the last 22. The Flames are 10-2 in their last 12 when their opponent scores 5 or more goals in the previous game. The Flames are 8-3 in their last 11 against a team with a losing record. However, the Flames are 8-24 in their last 32 games following a loss of 3 or more goals. The home team is 4-0 in the last 4 meetings between these teams. The Flames are 1-5 in their last 6 overall. The Flames are 2-7 in the 4th game of a 4-6 situation. The Sens are 4-1 in their last 5 on 1 day's rest. The Flames are bottom 5 in expected goals for ranking, while the Ottawa Senators are bottom 9. I think this would be an under game. I'm tempted to take the Senators. I think they've been playing much better. The Flames have been playing terrible, but I don't know how many wins that team can string together. Stay away or lean towards the Sens. At 3 p.m., you have the Columbus Blue Jackets at the Nashville Predators. Now, the Blue Jackets are a fade team officially, I think it's safe to say. As those words are coming out of my mouth, I'm sure that the Predators are going to drop this game. The Jackets are 5-27 in the last 32 in Nashville. They're 17-45 in the last 62 meetings between these teams. The favorite is 45-20 in the last 65 meetings, and the home team is 4-1 in the last 5. I really like the Predators in this one. They should be able to beat the Columbus Blue Jackets, but I also don't trust them as a team. Now, at 7 p.m., the marquee matchup of the weekend, the Toronto Maple Leafs against the Edmonton Oilers in Edmonton. This is a massive statement game for both teams. Oilers have won their last 5 straight. They're 8-3 in their last 11 Saturday games, 5-1 in their last 6 home games. Oilers are 5-2 in their last 7 against a team with a winning percentage above .600. Leafs are 5-1 in the last 6 in Edmonton, 9-1 in their last 10 against a team with a winning record. Leafs are 7-1 in their last 8 when their opponent allows 2 or less in the previous game. They're 6-1 in their last 7 road games, 5-1 in their last 6 after scoring 2 or less in the previous game. They're 8-2 playing on 2 days rest, 8-3 in their last 11 after a win. The road team is 5-2 in the last 7, and the Maple Leafs are 20-8 in the last 28 meetings. I can tell you where the value is in this game, and I can tell you who I want to win, but more realistically, I'm gonna put all my money on the Leafs and ride with them. If I don't wager money on the Leafs to win this game against the Oilers, do I really even believe in this team at all? I want to be able to cash in on this Leafs core at least a couple times, so I really hope they get the win on this one. Next game, the Penguins versus the Islanders. The Islanders just blew out the Bruins 7-2, while the Pens dropped the game after playing phenomenally. against the Washington Capitals. Favorite is 5-0 in the last 5 meetings. Penguins are 10-4 following a loss of 3 or more goals. They're 5-2 in their last 7 overall. Islanders are also 5-2 in their last 7 overall. Penguins are 3-9 in their last 12 road games. Islanders conversely are 6-1 in their last 7 home games. And the home team is 4-1 in the last 5 meetings. If I had to lean this one, I would take the Islanders. Up next, you got the Dallas Stars against the Tampa Bay Lightning. The Dallas Stars actually just took a nice win over the Florida Panthers before dropping the next game in a close contest. So the road team is 4-0 in the last 4 meetings. The Stars are 1-4 in the last 5. They're 2-5 in the last 7 road games, 1-7 in the last 8 overall. And the Lightning are 10-3 in their last 13 overall. Give me the Bolts in this one. They're just such a good team. Like the Colorado Avalanche, it's always a good idea to bet on them. Next game, the Carolina Hurricanes against the Florida Panthers. The road team is 5-1 in the last 6 meetings between these teams. The favorite is 45-20. Hurricanes are 8-3 in the last 11, 4-1 in the last 5 in Florida. Hurricanes are 24-9 in their last 33 Saturday games. Panthers are 2-8 in their last 10 Saturday games, conversely. And the over is 6-1-1 in the last 8 meetings in Florida. My lead in this one is the Carolina Hurricanes. I also placed a little bit of futures money on the Carolina Hurricanes at plus 1,000 odds to win the Stanley Cup. Now at 8 p.m. on Saturday night, you have the Detroit Red Wings against the ever-exciting Chicago Blackhawks. The favorite is 4-0. The Wings are 3-13 the last 16 in Chicago. They're 9-23 in the last 32 meetings. Let's go Hawks. Next game, Los Angeles Kings at the Minnesota Wild. This Kings team, man, they are rolling. That said, the Wild are also one of the best teams. They actually have the 3rd best expected goals for ranking in the league. I think the Wild are going to put a stop to this Kings run. We cashed in on 2 Kings wins. Let's not get greedy. Kirill Kaprizov is the real deal. This Minnesota Wild team is deep. Their second line is playing great. I like the Wild in this one. Now at 9 p.m. you have the Colorado Avalanche against the Arizona Coyotes. The Avalanche are 9-3 in their last 12 in the 3rd game of a 3-4 situation. They're 16-6 against a team with a losing record. Avs are 18-8 in their last 26 road games. But also the home team is 8-1 in the last 9, and the Coyotes are very pesky. I think the Avalanche will win. I'm always going to bet with them, but I think it could be a lot closer of a contest than the odds are really showing. Now at 10 p.m. you have the Vegas Golden Knights at the Anaheim Ducks. The Ducks just blew 2 back-to-back 3-goal leads against the Coyotes. The favorite is 10-2. The Knights are 5-1 in Anaheim. They're 13-3 in the last 16 meetings between these teams. Give me the Knights all day. Next 10 o'clock game, you got the Habs at the Jets. Habs have been absolutely reeling. They're 0-4 in their last 4 overall. They're 3-8 when their opponent scores 5 or more in the previous game. They're 3-9 when they allow 5 or more in the previous game. Carey Price has had 12 starts this season, and in 7 of them, he's allowed 3 or more goals. Jake Allen, on the other hand, has been pretty good. The Habs have been reeling. They fired their coach. I would take the Jets for that reason if they're underdogs. It also scares me because this very much could be the game where they snap out of whatever losing streak they've been in. In the very last game of Saturday night at 10:30, pulling up the rear, you got the St. Louis Blues and the San Jose Sharks. The favorite is 5-2. The Blues are 7-2 in the last 9 meetings. They're 5-1 in their last 6 road games. They're also 1-4 in their last 5 overall. Sharks are 1-5 in their last 6 home games, 1-4 in their last 5 Saturday games. If I had to lean, probably the Blues. On Sunday, 1 p.m., you got the Bruins at the Rangers. I'm gonna take the Bruins. I like them better. I think they're the best team in that division. I think they're gonna beat those Rangers. Next game, 3 o'clock, Jackets at the Preds. I think the Jackets are one of the worst teams in the league. I think the Predators should win as much as I don't trust them as a team. The next 3 o'clock game would be the Philadelphia Flyers at the Buffalo Sabres. Again, if Jack Eichel's still out, I gotta go with the Flyers in this one. Even if Jack Eichel's in, I'm probably gonna go with the Flyers. And the last 3 p.m. game is the Washington Capitals at the New Jersey Devils. I said I like the value on the Devils in the first game, and that still applies to this game. See how the first game goes. If it's a blowout for the Caps, stay away from it completely. At 5 o'clock, you got the Pens and the Islanders rematch. I went Islanders in the first game. I'll go Pens in this one. I hope I don't get the 2 games wrong. If I do, I'm counting it as 1 win for myself. And the last game, only 1 game at 7 p.m. You got the Detroit Red Wings at the Chicago Blackhawks. I don't know how the Blackhawks are good again, but they are. It's their special teams. It's their goaltending. They're going to beat the Red Wings in this game. But the Red Wings, as I said in the last video, have been stealing the second game of almost every series. They did it to Nashville, they did it to the Panthers, and hopefully they don't do it to the Hawks here. I'm taking the Hawks in both. Okay, so with all of that information, let's make my official picks for this weekend. Beginning with Friday night, there are 3 games. At 7 o'clock, I'm gonna take the Boston Bruins, the Minnesota Wild, and the Avalanche for a big favorite night. On Saturday at 1 p.m., I'm taking the Flyers, the Devils, and the Senators, and I hope I don't regret that. At 3 o'clock, I like the Preds. Give me Leafs, Islanders, Lightning, Canes, Hawks, Wild, Avalanche, Knights, and the Winnipeg Jets. And then on Sunday, my official picks. At 12:30 12 p.m. Eastern time, the Boston Bruins. At 3 o'clock p.m., once again, the Nashville Predators over the Blue Jackets. I'm going to take Philly to beat the Sabres again. I think the Capitals will beat the Devils in one of the two games. Same thing for the Penguins and the Islanders. And I'm going to go with the Chicago Blackhawks again against the Detroit Red Wings. So that's it. That's everything this weekend. All of my most educated guesses for the NHL slate of games. I hope we make some winners. I hope we make some sick parlays and absolutely triple, quadruple, quintuple our money this weekend. I'm also going to offer you my official bets. These are locks. These are guaranteed to hit. No more getting cute with value. I'm just going to tell you which bet where if you put money on it, it's going to win. I'm going to put money on it. When I win, you win. When you lose, I lose. My official bet for Friday night, the Boston Bruins and the Colorado Avalanche are both going to win, and I'm going to put that in a two-team parlay, and that's my official bet. On Saturday, I like Philly over Buffalo, I like Tampa over Dallas, and I like Chicago over Detroit, and also Vegas over the Ducks. And then on Sunday, Bruins, Preds, Philly, Hawks. So that's what I think. Everything that happened earlier this week, everything that I think will happen over the weekend. We'll be coming at you every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, all 116 games straight of the NHL season. We've also recently expanded into baseball content, so make sure to check out those videos. Shortly, we'll be expanding into NBA content, so stay tuned for that. Thank you all so much for watching and subscribing and liking the videos and commenting. I appreciate all of your support. Please tell all your friends if you like hockey, if you like sports gambling. We're going to expand this thing into much more than just hockey. I appreciate everyone who's here with me from the very start and following along all the way. We have great plans for this Casual Fan podcast, and I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you. So I'll see you all on Monday. Happy February. We're almost in March again. It's crazy, but we did it, and we're going to keep it going. So cheers. See you then.